Welcome to Beyond the Spacious Building, a space where we explore the paths of personal growth, faith transition, and the pursuit of truth. I'm Ruth, and today I'm taking a moment to revisit the very first blog post that I wrote on beyondthespaciousbuilding.com. The title of that blog, The Journey of a Truth Seeker. This piece marks the beginning of my public exploration into the complexities of belief, identity, and the courage it takes to question long-held assumptions. In this episode, I'll read the post aloud, offering a glimpse into the thoughts and feelings that propelled me to start this journey. Whether you're at the start of your own path or well along the way, I hope these words resonate with you. So, let's begin. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to finally be moving forward with this channel. I'm almost done with my semester. I have 2 finals left, and it's kind of freed up some space in my mind to be able to decide what I'm going to do here. So I've decided I'm going to start, and I'm going to maybe do some segments that are me highlighting some of the blog posts that I've already written, and where else to start but from the beginning. So this very first blog post that I wrote was November 7th of 2024. It was not the beginning of my deconstruction, but it was the beginning of me officially starting to write about my deconstruction. And this first one is just about the process that got me to where I am. And so the title of it is The Journey of a Truth Seeker. I began this blog with a quote by Dan Eldon, and it is, "The journey is the destination." I've always considered myself a truth seeker. This desire to find what's real has shaped many aspects of my life, including my decision to leave behind the religion I followed for over 40 years. Ironically, it was that very religion that sparked my journey towards truth. While my beliefs have changed, the search for truth itself has remained constant. Along the way, I've learned that discovering truth, whether in matters of faith or in the world around us, requires some key ingredients: critical thinking, research from diverse sources, staying positive, and weighing all the facts before making a decision. But there are also other important qualities, like curiosity, humility, and skepticism, that help guide this ongoing journey. Curiosity is one of the most important tools I've embraced in my search for truth. It's not just about looking for answers to questions I already have. It's about constantly asking new questions and being open to discovering things I didn't even know I didn't know. Curiosity pushes me to dig deeper, to explore different perspectives, and to remain open to ideas that I may not have considered before. It's the fuel that keeps the journey going and prevents me from settling for surface-level answers. Humility also plays a big role in my search for truth. I've learned that no matter how much I think I know, there's always more to learn. This humility allows me to admit when I'm wrong or when I don't have all the answers. It also helps me stay open to new information, even when it challenges my existing beliefs. Without humility, it's easy to become rigid and close-minded, but truth-seeking requires the opposite. It requires the ability to evolve as new facts or insights come to light. Alongside humility, a healthy dose of skepticism has been invaluable. Skepticism isn't about rejecting everything outright, but about approaching claims with a critical eye. It's not just about accepting things at face value, but asking, how do we know this is true? I've found that skepticism helps me from being easily swayed by misinformation or emotional manipulation. It encourages me to dig deeper and verify things before I form an opinion or make a decision. In today's world, where information is often distorted or oversimplified, skepticism helps me sift through the noise and focus on what really matters. For me, critical thinking is at the core of this process. It's about questioning and analyzing the information I encounter, not just accepting it because it aligns with what I want to believe. This ability to think critically helps me separate facts from feelings and evaluate information objectively. Along with that, research is crucial. In a world flooded with information, I've learned the importance of looking at different sources to gain a more complete picture. Truth is rarely one-sided, so the more I expose myself to diverse perspectives, the clearer the truth becomes. Positive thinking also plays a big role in this journey. It can be easy to get discouraged when things don't make sense or when answers you find challenge long-held beliefs. But staying positive helps me stay focused and open-minded. It's about being willing to learn, grow, and move forward, even when it's tough. Weighing all the facts is something I've had to learn to do carefully. I found that making any decision, whether it's about religion, politics, or something else, requires looking at everything, sorting through the facts, and deciding what makes the most sense. The world is full of information that can be skewed or manipulated, so it's important to be thorough and thoughtful before coming to a conclusion. At the end of the day, seeking truth, whether it's about your faith, your life, or the world around you, is an ongoing journey. It requires curiosity, critical thinking, doing your research, and staying positive and being patient as you sift through all the information. And if we can approach this search with humility, skepticism, and an open mind, we'll be better equipped to separate fact from fiction and make decisions based on what's really true, not just what we've been told or what we want to hear. And that was the end of the blog, but as I reflect on what it really means to be a truth seeker, I've come to the realization that the pursuit itself shapes us just as much as the truth we uncover. It isn't just about finding answers, it's about the kind of person we become along the way. One of the most groundbreaking moments for me was realizing that truth is not the proprietary claim of one institution, including the LDS Church, where I spent over 4 decades of my life. That realization cracked something wide open in me. Doors I never knew were there began to open. Windows I thought were sealed shut swung wide. And suddenly, my world expanded in ways I hadn't imagined possible. I used to think that being faithful meant accepting what others had determined was true. But I've come to see that truth-seeking isn't about passive acceptance. It's about engaging in the messy, beautiful work of figuring things out for yourself. It's about wrestling with questions, being brave enough to follow where the answers lead, and realizing that the journey to truth is, in itself, a sacred and transformative process. For me, that shift wasn't just intellectual. It was spiritual. It was emotional. It was reawakening. It gave me permission to trust my own mind, my own heart, and my own experience. And it's what ultimately led me to a life that feels more aligned, more honest, and more free. If you're listening and you're somewhere on your own truth journey, maybe questioning something big, maybe quietly wrestling with something inside, I want you to know you're not alone. There's no single right way to do this, but there is beauty in the asking, and there is power in the pursuit. Truth doesn't demand perfection. It asks for presence. It invites us to listen, to stay open, and to have the courage to let go of certainty in order to discover something deeper. And when we do, we find that journey itself is the destination. So stay curious, stay kind to yourself, keep going, because the path you're on, it's sacred ground. I hope you all have a great week, and I've said something that resonates with you or helped you find your footing on that path to truth seeking. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Beyond the Spacious Building. Reading that first blog post again reminded me how far we can come when we dare to ask hard questions and follow truth wherever it leads. If something in this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can connect with me by email at beyondthespaciousbuilding@gmail.com or subscribe to YouTube and stay up to date with future episodes. Until next time, keep seeking, stay curious, and know that you're not alone on this path.